I used to keep track of my daughter's growth with the old pencil marks on the doorway method. But now there's a better way, with this official Tom Seaver chart. It's the same one you can get free, courtesy of True Value Hardware, if you're one of the first 15,000 youngsters, 14 and under, who attend the White Sox-Blue Jays game Friday night, August 23rd. It's a handy chart, and it'll let your friends and your family know that you're growing in to be a big leaguer. Gee, I always thought I was a little bit taller than that.
Growth Chart Night, sponsored by True Value Hardware.
Ray Harrell, the king of Datsun, says, fact, nobody sells Datsuns for less. Forget list prices. Make the king an offer. The king will not be undersold. Sentras, Pulsars, Stanzas cost less at King Datsun. 200 SXs, Maximus 300 CXs, and trucks cost less at King Datsun. 5.5 acres of super savings. King-size trade-in allowances, free credit check, low-rate financing, and no payments for 2 months. The Midwest's largest Datsun dealer is Ray Harrell's King Datsun. 6200 West Tour, next to the Leaning Tower Y in Niles.
Sports Vision presents the 1985 Chicago White Sox. This White Sox game is brought to you in part by Budweiser, the king of beers. Reach for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And by Toyota. Compare. It's Toyota, not the other guys. See your Chicagoland Toyota dealers. And by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers. And by the Illinois State Lottery. A lot of people have already won millions playing Lotto. You could be next. Lotto, it's a big deal. By your neighborhood True Value Hardware store.
Live from Comiskey Park in Chicago, Illinois, it's the White Sox and the Kansas City Royals. The White Sox a record of 57-57. They are 9 games behind California. And Kansas City a record of 64-51, 2.5 games behind the Angels. And tonight, left-hander Bud Black a record of 8-12 for the Royals. Right-hander Tom Seaver a record of 12-8 for the White Sox. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Comiskey Park. I'm Don Drysdale along with Ken Harrelson, and happy that you've joined us tonight as the Sox start a big homestand as far as they're concerned. They have 3 games with Kansas City, 4 games with the Toronto Blue Jays, a makeup game with Boston on Monday night, followed by 3 with Texas. But you got to take things in perspective right here. You can only look one game at a time. And, Hawk, I think that's the biggest thing. When you look at these 2 ball clubs, they are 4-0. The White Sox are 4-0 against Kansas City at home. Kansas City 3-0 against the White Sox at home. And when you get these 2 together, funny things can happen at times.
It's nut-cutting time. I'll tell you that right now. This is when the walnuts can get busted right here. But the thing about it is a big homestand here. And the thing, if one of the clubs gets swept right here, the Sox, if they get swept by Kansas City, that'll put them 9.5 games back at Kansas City. So you don't have to worry about California at that time because it'll be tough to catch Kansas City. But on the other hand, Bud Black out there on the mound tonight, he has not been pitching well. He had a bad outing his last time out against the Red Sox. Tom Seaver going for the Sox. So if you can win this one, it's a very big game for the Sox tonight. If you can jump out on top and forget 301, we need a victory tonight for Tom to get the first of the 3-game set. If that's the case, then you got a chance.
Well, it'll be a big one, a big series, a big homestand. So we hope you make your plans to be with us all the way through. The White Sox ready to take the field. Hawk will give you the starting lineups.
All right, and here's how the Royals will run at Tom Seaver. Leading off playing center field, it'll be Willie Wilson. Lonnie Smith will bat second. He'll be in left. The third baseman, enough said right there, George Brett. Al McRae, who's been swinging the bat well, the cleanup hitter, the designated hitter. In right field, it'll be the 35-year-old veteran Dane Orridge. Frank White will bat sixth. He will be at second base. Hitting seventh, 25 home runs, Steve Balboni at first. Doing the catching, Jimmy Sundberg has a full rib cage. It'll be John Wathan. And batting ninth, the shortstop switch hitting, little buddy Biancalana. On the mound for the Royals, 28-year-old southpaw Bud Black, 6'2", 180 pounds. Bud making his 25th start, his third against the Sox. He's 1-on-1 against them this year. And as we mentioned, he was bombed in his last start against the Red Sox. He went 2/3 of an inning, giving up 6 hits, 5 runs all earned. He is 3-2 lifetime against the White Sox. So Black coming in with a record of 8-12, 4.28 ERA. And here's how the Sox will hit at Black. Leading off playing left field, it'll be Reed Nichols. Luis Salazar will bat second. He'll be in center. Harold Baines hitting at 304. Will hit at third. He'll be in right. The cleanup hitter, the catcher, Carlton Fisk. Ron Kittle will bat fifth. He'll be the designated hitter. In the sixth position at first base, Greg Walker. Tim Hewlett will bat seventh, and he'll be at the hot corner. The second baseman hitting eighth, it'll be Julio Cruz, and batting ninth, the shortstop, Ozzie Guillen. On the mound, 40-year-old veteran right-hander, future Hall of Famer Tom Seaver. Seaver with a record of 12-8, 3.15 ERA, making his 25th start, his third against Kansas City this year. He is 1-1. He lost 3-0 in Kansas City back on May 25th, and then just 5 days later beat Kansas City right here by a score of 4-3. This will be his second attempt at 301, but as we just mentioned, you can forget 301. This is a very big game for the Sox. Men in blue tonight, behind the plate, it'll be Vic Voltaggio. Durwood Merrill at first, Big Tim Welke at second, and crew chief Marty Springstead over at third. So the Sox coming in 57 up, 57 down, 9 games back. The Royals coming in with a record of 64-51, just 2.5 games back of California. And as good as the Royals have been playing, the Angels still hanging on to that 2.5 game lead. And that trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates when they got Candelaria, Holland, George Hendrick for Mike Brown and a couple other guys, Pat Clements, well, it's turned out to be thus far a good one for the Angels. Royals have won 18 of their last 25 ball games, and since the All-Star break, they have a record of 20-9. So it'll give you a little cue on how they have been playing. But right there you see the numbers on Tommy against Kansas City. And this year, lifetime, 3-1, 108 lifetime ERA against the Royals. And Seaver, well, he knows what his job is. There's no question about that. And that's exactly what he's going to try to do. Of course, Tommy missing that last start because of back spasms. So we'll hope that everything's all right. It's a cool night here at Comiskey Park, but Seaver has concluded his warm-up tosses. They whip it around the infield, and to call it for you, here's Don.
All right, Ken, thank you very much. And once again, good evening, everyone. As you look at the Sox defense of Hewlett, Guillen, Cruz, and Walker from third to first, Nichols, Salazar, and Baines from left to right, and the battery of Fisk and Seaver. Now, Willie Wilson ready to lead it off for Kansas City. He'll be followed by Lonnie Smith and then George Brett in that order, the top three in the Royal lineup. Wilson hitting .287 with 4 home runs, 38 RBIs on the year. We had Lonnie Smith on deck. Hey, right there, Wilson hitting over 300 in 5 of his 6 major league seasons. Wilson, a switch hitter. And, of course, he will hit left-handed against the right-handed pitching of Tom Seaver. As we wait for home plate umpire, you see the breeze tonight blowing in from center field. 62 degrees, a breeze out of the northeast at 10. It's fair and cool. Now Seaver ready to go. And we're underway. Delivers a strike, and the count is 0-1. Hewlett up inside the bag at third at the cut of the grass as Wilson takes high. The count 1-1. Kansas City a record of 64-51. 2.5 games behind California. See the defense for Wilson. Salazar slightly in left center. Nichols fairly shallow left to the line. That's down low. The count goes to 2-1. Tony La Russa on one of the afternoon newscasts was saying that Seaver's back still a little ouchy, but not enough to keep him out of the start tonight. There's a looper left side, playable. Moving over is Hewlett. Guillen behind him. It's Hewlett for the catch. So there's one gone, and that will bring on Lonnie Smith. Smith hitting .262 with a pair of home runs, 24 RBIs. So a big catalyst as far as Kansas City is concerned, keeping Willie Wilson off of the base. And another man right here, Lonnie Smith. There's a strike to Smith, and the count 0-1. Smith in August has been hitting .297. There's a bouncer. That's a foul ball. So Smith will come back. Marty Springstead, the crew chief, down at third base, just holding his hands up, and the count quickly to Smith is 0-2. Their Kansas City coaches are Mike Ferraro at third, Jose Martinez over at first. The 2-strike pitch. That's down low. The count 1-2. Cincinnati-Pittsburgh tied at 1, bottom of the 4th inning in Pittsburgh. San Diego, Montreal, no score, top of the 5th up in Canada. The Western clubs in the National League making an Eastern swing. The Mets 2-0 over the Giants in the bottom of the 3rd. That's low. The count goes even 2-2. St. Louis will be at Houston tonight. And the Cubbies leading Atlanta 1-0. That's in the bottom of the 5th down in Georgia. There's a bouncer right back to Seaver. 2 gone. And that will bring on George Brett, hitting .352, 16 home runs and 72 RBIs. Brett has hit safely in 12 of his last 14 ball games. But they're tied for the 2nd spot. Ricky Henderson in the American League batting race. Wade Boggs on top. Fastball over that outside corner, and the count 0-1. Dodgers creeping back at Philadelphia. They were down 3-0. It's now 3-2. That's low. The count 1-1. Right there leading the American League with that .571 slugging percentage. Second in an on-base percentage at .448 with Hal McRae on deck. There's a line drive base hit left field. Del Brett's aboard, and that will bring on McRae.
Now Seaver just trying to get the slider in on him. Now watch George just inside out and slash it right by Timmy Hewlett in the left field.
Now the 2-out single by Brett, and here's Hal McRae, the designated hitter, hitting .247 with 11 home runs, 49 RBIs. McRae has hit safely in 7 of his last 9 games. At one point prior to the All-Star break, George Orta was not hitting that well, and Dick Hauser inserted McRae in the lineup against the right-handers. They were platooning against right-handers and left-handers, and McRae got hot. And Hauser had just stayed right with him. 0-1 the count. Down that outside corner, it's 0-2. There's Dane Orge on deck. Out of play, right side, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. McRae, the all-time leader in games played as a designated hitter. You see, leads the Royals hitters last year with that .303 mark. Have won 5 of their last 9, 9 of their last 12. That's down low. The count 1-2, and 18 of their last 25. And to a man, they will tell you, we are a good second-half club, and that includes their manager Dick Hauser, all of their coaches, and indeed they have been playing well. 1-2 the count to McRae. There goes Brett, started and stopped as Fisk bluffs, and the count 2-2. Brett kind of replacing a divot. There he starts. You see him slip a little and very alertly held up.
That was no fake. He was going.
He has 7 stolen bases this year. See right there, 7 for 8. 2-2 the count. That's hit foul right side, back up on the roof, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The infield fan, the outfield the same. See right there, the Sox defensive alignment. Cruz deep at second, Guillen deep at short. That's it down the line, and hooking in the corner, it'll be a foul ball. Nichols over. Now Brett will go back, and the count remains 2-2. Blue Jays down 2-0 to Cleveland. Well, it'll be interesting to watch the Blue Jays and the Yankees as you look at Dick Hauser down in that Kansas City dugout. Tony La Russa over in the Sox dugout. Yankees at California. So, of course, you got a lot of people thinking time to make hay. With Toronto picking up the newspaper this morning, seeing the Yankees out at California are leading the West. They said, well, we can win. The Yankees get beat. We can pick up a game. Right back off of the heel. Seaver hurrying in a hurry. Throws to get him. Good play by Seaver. Side retired. We go to the bottom of the first inning. No score.
Your Toyota dealer's big summer delivery is here, so make your deal and drive it home. Toyota dealers are pricing every Toyota to sell fast to break this month's sales record. Trucks, unsurpassed for mechanical reliability, could save you money on maintenance, and factory incentives to dealers on selected models could save you even more. Toyota value price to drive away. Make your super summer sellout deal on the hottest values in town at your Toyota dealer now.
We got what it takes. We've got what it takes to make it easy. We've got what it takes to make it good. There's nothing you can't do when you know your true value. We've got what it takes, true value.
The more you have to do, the more you really need True Value hardware stores and home centers.
We've got what it takes, true value.
Hey, OJ, isn't that Marcus Allen? Remember when you could do that?
Arnie, I may have lost a step or two, but I can still get through an airport in a hurry.
You mean you still got it?
Yep, right here, the Hertz Express Service Pass. It lets you go directly from your plane to your car without stopping at the terminal counter. There's no faster way out of an airport.
It's him again.
Hey, Marcus, come here. Do I have to teach you everything?
Marcus!
Not everything.
Hertz, the #1 way to rent a car.
That's the story as we go to the bottom of the first inning and watch that last play by Tom Seaver. Hawk, he bounced around like a young colt.
Ball was scalded by McRae right there off the heel of the glove. Tommy knows he's got time. Right there, sees he doesn't have to gun it over to Walker. Knew all the way where McRae was.
Now Bud Black taking his warm-up tosses, making his 25th start of the year. Record of 8-12 and a 4.28 ERA. 3-2 lifetime against the Sox. He has won 3 of his last 5 outings. He will face Nichols, Salazar, and Baines in that order. Black not having the kind of year that he had last year when he won 17 while losing 12. See what his record is against the Sox this year and last year. Big thing about Bud, they say that as you look at that last start, he's healthy. He is just not throwing quite as hard as what he did last year, and has not been making the good pitches like he did last year.
Well, they tell us he was ahead of every hitter in his last start against the Red Sox. Just couldn't put him away. Get him 1-2, hang a curve. Get him 1-2, throw a fastball when he's trying to get it in or out and miss out over the plate. He can't do that. But I'll tell you one thing, when he's right, he can absolutely just mesmerize you out there. He's a pup out of Carlton in that motion he's got. You got the fastball, the curveball, slider, and a change of 4 basic pitches.
There's your Kansas City defense. Brett Bean, Kalana, White, and Balboni from third to first. Smith, Wilson, and Ord from left to right. Wathen and Black, the battery tonight. Now here's Reed Nichols. In and over. 0-1. Yeah, look at the hooter.
I don't believe it.
By golly. Got himself a Sox hat, and he's raring to go. There's a strike in the count. 0-2. Nichols at .263 with a home run and 10 RBIs. On deck, Luis Salazar. Hit to the right side off of the end of the bat, bobbled by White, picks it out of the air and throws him out. Now that will bring on Luis Salazar. That ball with a little different spin. And White just reached out and plucked it out of the air. Now there's one gone, and here's Salazar. Luis hitting .204, 6 home runs and 30 RBIs. No score, 1 out, bottom of the first inning. First of a 3-game series with the Royals. There's a strike, and the count is 0-1. Johnny Wathen catching tonight. Jim Sundberg, a pulled rib muscle, and he's kind of on a day-to-day basis. Wathen behind the plate, veteran receiver. Missing away, the count 1-1. The Royals called up Jamie Quirk. They have gone with 2 catchers all year, and with Sundberg out of the lineup with that pulled rib muscle, they bring in Quirk. There's a strike, and the count 1-2. Jimmy Leyland coaching at third, Joe Nossick at first, with Harold Baines on deck. Pat Sheridan, he's out of the lineup. He has a hamstring pull. Got him on the curveball.
Get in a good spot down in the end. One thing about Black that you've got to look for is the velocity. If he is not afraid to throw the fastball in on the right-handed hitters, then he's going to be tough. So far, he has yet to come in on either Nichols or Salazar with a fastball, but got a pretty good hook going for him thus far.
Here's Harold Baines. You see the average of .304. That's foul left side. 9 home runs, 72 RBIs. Harold has hit safely in 6 of his last 7 ball games with Carlton Fisk on deck. See right there in the 7 games at a .452 mark. And the first 5-hit game of his career up at County Stadium the other day. It's outside, 1-1 the count. Bud Black from Palm Desert, California. And the count goes to 2-1. Back up the middle. That's a base hit. Now Baines is aboard, and that'll bring on Carlton Fisk.
Fastball from Black. Harold just stayed right with it. Swats it right back through the middle.
Here's Fisk with a 6-game hitting streak, hitting .245. 32 home runs and 81 RBIs. There's what he's done during that 6-game hitting streak. One ball and no strikes to count. Fisk now the American League leader in home runs. Dale Murphy of Atlanta, starting tonight, was 1 ahead at 33. 2-1 the count. Pudge has also hit safely in 14 of his last 16 games. Carlton tying a major league record for walks intentional. That was at Milwaukee on Saturday. They walked him 3 times. On that outside corner, good change, 1-2 the count. The 81 RBIs places him 5th in the American League in that department. And his .545 slugging record, that is 4th best. Now Baines at first, 2 out, 1-2 to Fisk. And that gets away from Wathan. Baines to second base. Makes a turn, and he'll hold right there. Then we'll see how they score it.
Here's a fastball from Bud Black. Johnny just went about it the wrong way. That should be a pass ball.
Well, they give him a wild pitch, but that is not right. It should have been a pass ball. I already had it written down with you, Hawk.
Try to knock that one right down on the ground.
Yeah, we just had the glove turned the wrong way.
Try to capture that one.
There you see, instead of turning the glove the other way, he just has it the wrong way. Trying to catch it backhanded. Just letting the ball come to the natural side of the glove. So 2-2 the count. There's another good block by Wathan. And the count full at 3-2 with Ron Kittle on deck. Well, Dwight Gooden has struck out 8 batters in 4 innings to give him 200 for the year. Gooden now becomes the 2nd pitcher in Major League history and the first National Leaguer to fan 200 batters in each of his first 2 seasons. 4th inning, Mets 2-0 over the Giants. Full count, 3-2 to Fisk. Bounce third base side, foul. So the count remains full at 3-2. There's Kittle on deck. No score. Bottom of the first, 2 outs. Baines at second. Again, Jimmy Leland spares that one, and we'll give it back to Black. Again, the 3-2 pitch. Another curveball. Brett bobbles. Now goes on across to Balboni in time, and the side is retired. So the White Sox are gone. No runs on a hit, no errors. They leave a man, and after 1, no score.
Katie O'Connor for O'Connor Ford, 92nd and Southwestern, home of over 200 O'Connorized used cars. From rows of luxury cars, an 80 Lincoln Mark 6 is only $59.88. Buy an air-conditioned, power-equipped 81 Chevy Citation for $29.88. A 75 Eldorado is only $12.88. Others from $3.88. And we offer special finance plans if you've had credit problems. O'Connor Ford, 92nd and Southwestern. Call 881-3900.
What covers 26 teams, stars 958 players. Last year stole over 3,000 bases, threw 5 no-hitters, plugged 3,258 home runs, gave us some new dance steps, shagged a few flies, and blew a few kisses. Give up? It's the Pennant Chase, where each week you can flip through baseball's vital statistics and follow the fates and fortunes of your favorite team. Don't forget, it's the Pennant Chase.
There's a style in your life no one could ever deny. You're on your way to the top, and along the way you've always known just who you are. Where you're going, you've always known it. Where you're going, it's Michelob.
Where you're going, it's exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you're going, it's Michelob.
Check the action in the American League for you. Toronto will be at Cleveland, Texas at Boston, Minnesota, Milwaukee, New York, California, Detroit, Oakland, Baltimore at Seattle on the West Coast. National League, the Cubs at the Braves, the Dodgers and Phillies, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, San Diego, Montreal, San Francisco, New York, and St. Louis at Houston. As we go to the top of the second inning, it'll be Dane Orge to lead it off. He'll be followed by Frank White and then Steve Balboni. Toronto's come back to tie Cleveland, scoring 2 times in the 5th inning. They go to the bottom of the 5th in a 2-2 tie. That's Key against Smith. There's a looper to left, coming on Nichols, and that's going to drop. Now Orge is aboard, and that'll bring on Frank White. Texas at Boston, scoreless in the bottom of the 5th inning. Huff against Ojeda. Minnesota, Milwaukee, no score after 1.5. Butcher against Aguirre. On the coast tonight, New York at California, Whitson and Slayton. Detroit at Oakland, Terrell and Burtsis. Baltimore, Seattle, Flanagan, and Moore. Frank White standing in, hitting .239, 17 home runs, 57 RBIs. Right side, 0-1 the count. The Cubs 1-0 over Atlanta after 5 complete. Fontenot against Mailer. 3-2 Phillies over the Dodgers after 4 complete. That is Gross against Welch. After 5 complete, Pittsburgh leading Cincinnati 3-1. Jason Thompson has hit his 11th home run in that game. Inside, 1-1 the count. San Diego on top of Montreal, 1-0. Dravecky against Gullickson. 2-0. Mets over the Giants. Gooden against Gott. Houston 1-0 over St. Louis after 1. That is Scott against Kepshire. Down low, the count 2-1.
And fans, a reminder, you can play baseball against stars like Minnie Minoso, Billy Pierce, and Moose Cowan at the first White Sox Rodman and Renshaw Fantasy Camp and Investment Seminar. And attending that week-long fantasy camp next February in Sarasota, Florida, you'll receive up-to-date investment information from all the experts at Rodman and Renshaw. Just dial 924-1000 and ask for information.
Bounce foul, and the count goes even at 2-2. Balboni on deck. Down low, full count, 3-2. And we'll keep an eye on Orge at first on the 3-2 pitch. See what Dick Hauser wants him to do. Walker holding. Full count, 3-2. There he goes. There's a fly ball looped into right. Baines coming in a hurry, and he's not going to get it. As Orge turns, and he goes to third. Now the Royals have runners at first and third, and there's nobody out to Balboni.
Well, 2 little loopers right here, 2 little duck snorts, but they count. There's a breaking pitch on a 3-2. Orge was off. He just stood there at second base, and Baines catches a double play. Now all of a sudden when he sees it hits, he takes off. Harrell still couldn't do anything with it. And these are the kind of situations that it's just fun to watch Tom Seaver try to work his way out of.
As Steve Balboni stands in, hitting .251, 25 home runs, 65 RBIs. Johnny Wathan on deck. Orge at third with Frank White at first. Up high, the count 1-0. Well, I think Orge got to the point right there. Hawk, he's played long enough, the veteran player, that I'm not going to do any good going back to first. I can only go to second. If I stand here, I'm going to get doubled up anyway, so I may as well go to third.
I'm saying, but he was just a couple of beats late in thinking that.
Yeah.
Once he got caught out there.
1-1 to count. Balboni, strong right-hand hitter. You got to be careful.
119 strikeouts thus far this season. Big free swinger. He's been swinging the bat well for him as far as hitting the ball out of the yard, driving in some runs.
Seaver just coming at him hard in the count 1-2. Kind of in the same category as Ron Kittle as you look at Wathan on deck. Make a mistake and they can hurt you. Get ahead of them. They've got a couple of spots that you can work on them with. Foul that back and the count 2-2, but don't make a mistake.
Now they epitomize the term mistake hitter. But for the most part, most guys are. They just happen to be stronger mistake hitters than other guys.
One and two the count. Guillen playing towards the hole at short. That's out of play. And the count remains 1-2. See where Ozzie is. He's moving back now a little bit to his left just to do a little gardening out there. Cruz cheating slightly to his right. Hole on that right side. The outfield deep. Salazar slightly in left center. Ball and 2 strikes to Balboni. Ball hit to Hewlett. He goes to second for 1, and they double him up as Ord scores, and it's 1-0 Kansas City.
There's a curveball. Actually got it up a little bit. Pretty good pitch to hit, but the routine rack him up 5-4-3 around the horn. Timmy wanted to. He could have come home.
Yes, he could have.
Orge would have been dead pigeon.
I kind of think that's what Carlton Fisk was looking for him to do. Orge was only about 35 feet down the line when he had the ball as Johnny Wathan takes a strike.
Well, with Tom Seaver on the mound, yeah, exactly. Because he can wiggle his way out of some jams.
That's fouled away right side, 0-2 the count.
And it boils down to one thing. Before the play is made, you got to say to yourself, okay, Seaver's on the mound. If you're in that infield, you got to say to yourself, what would we rather have? Nobody on 2 out and the score 1-0, or 1 out man at first and second with Seaver on the mound? I'd rather have it 1 out man on first and second, Seaver on the mound. You just don't want to give up a run.
No, you hate to just give them away.
If you got a rookie out there, it's a different story. You go ahead and give up the run, get out of it.
A ball and 2 strikes.
Especially when you got to win at least 2 out of 3. At least 2 out of 3.
Well, to show you how crazy this thing can be, you win 2 out of 3. It's just you only pick up 1 game. That's on Kansas City. Don't know what the Angels are going to do. That's it up the middle. As Ozzie Guillen goes to Walker, and the side is retired. But Kansas City comes up with a run on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave nobody. And after 1.5, they lead it 1-0.
Sometimes coaches have it too good, like having to choose the best from a lineup of all-stars. Take Chrysler's LeBaron lineup. Each one is a proven winner, a proven performer, especially with optional turbo power. Classy, too, with optional Mark Cross leather. Of course, they're backed by Chrysler's 5-year, 50,000-mile protection plan. So which one would you choose? Me, I'd trade for them all. See your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Northwestern Chrysler Plymouth Chicago, DuPage Chrysler Plymouth in Wheaton.
Business is business. Whether you're in Canton, Ohio or Canton, China, you want the express service that makes more on-time deliveries to more places around the world than anybody. you can rely on DHL. From Venice, California to Venice, Italy, DHL is the fastest growing service in the USA. From packages to documents, DHL Worldwide Express. Nobody delivers the whole wide world like DHL.
We start with our fresh baked bread.
Love it.
You pick and choose a tasty spread.
Nothing better.
Cheese and sausage and meats galore. Pickles and lettuce and so much more.
More.
Why don't you capture the taste of a Mr. Submarine?
Thank you. We love to give you more good things. And we have more good things to give you. Have a nice day. Hey, thank you.
Why don't you capture the taste of a Mr. Submarine?
Now that's tomorrow night's action right here on Sports Vision at 7:30. Game number 2, the Royals and the White Sox. It'll be left-hander Charlie Leibrandt for Kansas City, Floyd Bannister for the White Sox as Ron Kittle steps in. That's the story. Royals on top. Breaking pitch outside, the count 1-0. Kittle hitting .220, 14 home runs, 27 RBIs with Greg Walker on deck. Jams him, breaks his bat. Here's Bian Kalana. Off balance throw, easy play. And there's one away. That little guy charged that ball well, Hawk.
Yeah, but the key on that play right there is Jimmy, save that a second. All the way from the pitch. I want to go back and show you what Wathan was doing. And again, walnut time, walnut cracking time here the last 6 weeks of the season. You're trying to get back in the race, and we'll bring out the point for you.
Here's Greg Walker, takes a strike, and the count is 0-1. Quickly, it's 0-2.
All right, from the windup, well, you still didn't see it. Anyway, Wathan set up inside so early, gave it away right there, and there's where that on-deck hitter. In this case, Greg Walker can have a little whistle, little sign with Kittle telling him when Wathan, because he will set up in there early, giving it away. Now, all of a sudden, you look in there, and instead of getting eaten up alive, breaking your bad little ground ball, you're liable to hit one out of here, pick up a quick one.
Got him looking.
Good
Walker
slider.
knew it? Yes, sir. Strikeout number 2 for Black, and that'll bring on Timmy Hewlett.
If that catcher moves around back there, then it's a little more difficult. But when you're setting up as early as Wathan is, it's easy from the on deck to give that little whistle, or come on, Kitty, or come on, run.
I was talking to Willie Horton about that, Hawk. Our conversations that we've had up here as Timmy Hewlett stands in about standing at second base with a right-hand hitter, right-handed pitcher, left-hand hitter, left-handed pitcher, and they move inside like that, just giving them a location. And he said, you know, he said, it's amazing. He says, he says, number one, he says they don't even talk about it. He says, but they're getting to talk a lot more over there on that Yankee ball club. And we're really trying to stress that point.
That's because Piniella. Lou will start those guys talking over there. Horton will start those guys talking over there. Willie's a good baseball man. People have never really given Horton, even when he was playing, enough credit as far as how much he knows about how to play the game of baseball. I mean, that's just like, you know, that's just like throwing money away when you don't take advantage of those two.
Oh, man. He walks Hewlett. Well, it's just a case of the talk. Talking baseball and talking with people that have an idea of what they're talking about. Willie said he learned more about hitting. And I don't know, we might have brought this up in the Yankee series. I talked to him down in the clubhouse one day for an hour and a half. We're talking. And got out here early. He said he learned more about hitting, sitting around and listening to pitchers talk, and then every now and then interjecting a little thought. And I said, you will. And I said, and pitchers will learn more about pitching, sitting around listening to hitters talk.
That's the way you do it. You feed off each other.
That's right. Julio Cruz lines it foul right side. They count 1-1. But on a lot of clubs, that's a lost art. It's not even an art. It's just common sense. It's just knowing the game, knowing how to play the game. Curveball bounce foul. The count 1-2.
I know from a hitter's standpoint, you don't have to be right all the time. Just be right a little more than you're wrong, and just give me an inclination of what the devil's coming. That's all.
Yeah. Well, it's just a case in point. You take a 300 hitter. He's wrong 7 out of 10 times, and he's a heck of a ball player. That check swing foul, 1-2. The count remains on Cruz, but we've talked about that. You take a bridge builder that's wrong 7 out of 10 times, he's out of business.
Yeah, I think in the last 4 years we've covered that subject pretty thoroughly.
Yeah. A ball and 2 strikes. Runner goes. Bouncer. Black will have it on a big hop. Goes to Balboni, and the side is retired. So the Sox are gone in the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left after 2. Kansas City leads it 1-0.
Here's something you've never wondered about in your whole life. Why is it that no other carpet company offers 72-hour delivery? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's because no other shop-at-home company has its own warehouse or its own installing crews ready to load your carpet and get it right out to you. And if you think 72 hours is fast, listen to this. If it's a real emergency and you've just got to have your carpet sooner, we'll make it 48 hours, just for you.
588-2300-M4.
48 hours.
Who says you can't have it all? Who says you can't be on the job and take your eye off the ball?
Who says you can't have super premium taste and a less filling beer?
Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Have it all.
Now you can avoid the high cost of hiring a professional plumber by handling many repairs yourself with professional quality master plumber repair parts and fittings from True Value Hardware stores. They come with step-by-step instructions for easy installation. And when you choose master plumber parts and fittings, you can be sure your repairs will last because they're all quality constructed to resist corrosion and wear. Look for them exclusively at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
Well, fans, a reminder, the next Sox half-price family night is set for Monday, September 9th, when the Minnesota Twins are in town. Fans attending that game can purchase box of reserve seat tickets at half the regular price for that Monday night home game. So for tickets, just dial Ticketmaster at 559-1212. You can use your charge card or stop by the Comiskey Park ticket office.
Here's Buddy B. and Kalana, the shortstop. Slow curve in and over. Buddy hitting at the 157 mark with a home run and 4 RBIs. He's not seen a lot of action. He was on the disabled list for a while. That's low. The count 1-1. And 2 balls and a strike with the leadoff hitter Willie Wilson on deck. Seaver saying, where was that, up? And Nick Voltaggio said yes. That's low, and it's 3-1. Walks him. Being Kalana's aboard. And we'll go to the top of the order and Willie Wilson. Fouled out to Timmy Hewlett his first time at bat. 16 triples. Popped in the air. They let it drop as Hewlett almost made the wrong play. Now he doesn't know where to go, and he goes to second. There's a case, Tom Seaver, and I know exactly how he feels.
He had the thing. He was going to play it. Jimmy almost screwed it up royally.
All Seaver wants to do is let it drop, and you've got Willie Wilson in the double play. Here comes Seaver. Now he's getting in position, and here comes Hewlett. I'm telling you, there is kismet. He can't get Wilson. He's going to go to second base. Oh, I've talked about that. I was telling somebody about that the other day. Willie Mays did that to me. First time he ever bunted in his life in 14 years, and I was halfway between the mound and first base. I had my hands the same way Seaver did, was going to let it drop, and Wes Parker come underneath of me and caught the ball. I want to hit him right on top of the head. Mays was so upset bunting number one, number two that he popped it up, and number three, it went over on my side with Parker catching it. Got his bat in the count 0-1. Well, there's a play that we've talked about so many times. If you don't think about that play and you don't know what you're going to do, if you don't work on it in spring training, it does not become a habit. And that play has got to be as big a habit as putting on a pair of baseball shoes. To an infielder, to a first baseman, or a third baseman.
Well, there was a perfect example right there. The graphic example of the young player versus the older player. Tommy had to play all in front of him. He was going to make the play himself. Hewlett got upset. He thought Seaver misjudged it a little bit. Yeah. Tried to catch the ball and screwed it up.
There goes Wilson, and the pitch is strike. Throw through. They don't get him. It hit him in the head.
Oh, boy. Oh.
Now he goes calling time. I think he was calling time, and Wilkie did not give it to him.
Took a good shot right there. Mercy.
You could see him waving and calling time, and Wilkie did not give it to him. They made the tag. Boy, I'll tell you. That got him pretty good. We'll see exactly where. I'll tell you, knowing Willie Wilson, it's going to have to get him awfully good in order to get him out of that lineup. I'm surprised that Dick Hauser's not talking to the second base umpire, Tim Wilkie, when Wilson was calling for time.
Well, I think he's going to, but I think right now he's more concerned about the condition of Willie. And when it's over, he will. And you didn't know at that point, though, when Willie, let's watch. Now, watch how he works his hands. I don't know if he's calling time or it's just showing some pain. Anyway, he was drilled. And that's what we talked about also. Said a lot of times about the helmets. Watch this. Watch the throw. Of course, that got him right in the back of the lower part of the head. Now, watch him when he's down. You see his hands. They put it on him. You don't know if he was showing pain or trying to call time. Evidently, Wilkie didn't hear anything.
I wonder where that got him.
It looked like he got him right on the back of the right lower part of the head. Right on the jawbone, so it's right back of the jawbone. Anyway, it got him good. That big man, for him to be down like that, it hurt. But getting back to the other thing, you see more guys get hit in the head running the base paths than you do at home plate.
Well, nowadays, yeah. Hauser standing there just making sure that he's going to be okay. They say if he's out, it's going to be 2-6 unless...
According to how they call it, it'll be a stolen base and then a 2-6 putout. If he got to the base, which evidently he did,
got him in the back of the... Looked like might have got him just below the helmet, on the back of the neck. Look at it
Watch him turn his head now and gets him right in the back of the right side. Back of the head. He wasn't going to wait and find out if he was trying to call time.
Belly's up, I'll tell you. Of course, that probably stunned him, too, more than you get knocked in the back of the neck.
Well, if he got him on that spinal cord around the neck area, yeah, it can poleaxe you. Number 6 to lead the game. He's hurt.
Well, they've got it out to try and get him back in shape. And believe me, they'll be doing everything they can to get that man back in shape.
The way he's going over there, I don't think that... Oh, we can see any more of him. They better get him to the hospital, take a few preliminary x-rays, especially if he got caught right in the back of that neck.
So the count 0-2 to Lonnie Smith. That's low, the count 1-2. And Smith is down on strikes. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, 1-0 Kansas City.
It's quiet here, but it won't be for long.
Hard left field. Back is Griffey. This ball is gone.
The Sox are back, and Sports Vision's got them. That's right. Sports Vision's got Sox appeal. Sports Vision knocks your socks off with over 100 live games all season long, right in your own home. Face-to-face, instant replay, home and away. Sports Vision brings it right at you, game after game. The action you crave is as close as your living room and your telephone. Call today and catch all the action now.
Way back, hold of the wall. This ball is gone.
Because Sports Vision has Sox appeal.
You know, I believe in old-time values. When something works, you keep doing it. In 27, my dad took me to my first ball game. The crowd, the excitement. I took my son in 52. Now we bring his kids.
Hey, come on, we're going to be late for the game.
Going to the ballpark in this family has become a tradition. If you're missing it, you're missing something important. Hey, you owe it to them.
Major League Baseball, a family tradition.
Have a look at the scoreboard for you. You see 2-2 tie, Toronto-Cleveland in the 7th. No score, Texas-Boston 7th. No score in the 4th, Minnesota-Milwaukee. National League, Cubs still 1-0 over Atlanta, 7th, 4-2 Philly over the Dodgers, 6th, 3-run Cincinnati over Pittsburgh in the 7th. San Diego 1-0 over Montreal in the 7th, 3-0 Mets over the Giants, 3-0 Houston over St. Louis. Here's Ozzie Guillen. Takes inside to count 1-0. There's Lynn Jones, a new center fielder. Takes a strike, 0-1.
I just went over and talked with Randy Minkoff, the official scorer, and indeed the rule has been altered a little bit. In a continuous type action play like that, it is not where it used to be if you had to bag a stolen base. Now, if he gets to the bag, then makes any kind of a break to third, and then they tag him out, it is a stolen base. So it's the same thing in making a break around first and going to second.
That's fouled away, and the count 2-2. So Wilson is out 2-6 if you might be scoring with us. Tries to bunt his way on and misses, so he strikes out.
Pretty good slider right here by Buddy Black. Got in a pretty good spot.
Now 1 out, and that will bring on Reed Nichols. Reed bounced to Frank White his first time at bat. He tries to bunt his way on and misses. 0-1. Sam Well has homered his 14th of the year for the Phillies as they lead the Dodgers 4-2. But Anderson has come on to relieve Gross in the 6th inning, so the Dodgers might be trying to do something. Jason Thompson has hit his 11th for Pittsburgh as they lead Cincinnati. Pittsburgh is leading Cincinnati 3-1. Out of play, 0-2 the count. Curveball got him looking. Fourth strikeout for Black.
He's got a good hook. Got that one up even, but still had some bite on it. 4 basic pitches, as we mentioned: a fastball, a curveball, slider, and a change.
Here's Luis Salazar. Struck out his first time at bat with Baines on deck. Backs him up with a fastball to count. The count to Salazar. 1-1. Well, indeed, the Dodgers are doing something in Philly. In the 6th inning, they have 2 runs in. That ties it at 4. They have 2 on and 1 out. 4-4 tie. Up the middle. Frank White can't get it. Base hit. The second hit for the White Sox, and that'll bring on Harold Baines, who has the other hit. Baines singled up the middle his first time at bat. Now Salazar at first with 2 outs. Down low to Baines, 1-0 the count. On deck, Carlton Fisk. One ball and 1 strike. Check that. 1 ball and no strikes the count. 2 outs, 1-0 Kansas City. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. 1-1 the count. Good one going in Boston. Charlie Huff and Bobby Ojeda, no score in the 8th. Down low, it gets away with it. And down to second base goes Salazar.
Now that was a slider that just got down in the dirt and crawled right up him a little bit. Couldn't control. Take another look.
Be a wild pitch to Black, so Salazar at second. The count 2-2. Baines didn't care for that call. Looked like he got a slider, caught that inside corner.
Almost like a backup slider. It did. That's what it was. Caught the corner. That's a good pitch if you can master it.
Two and 2 the count. Low, Wathan blocking this one, and the count full at 3-2 with Carlton Fisk on deck.
Al Downing used to do that a lot. The old backup slider. Ball comes spinning in one way and going in another. He wasn't trying to do it. You're talking about getting sawed off.
Haynes down on strike. Number 5 for Black, and we're through 3. 1-0 Kansas City.
Me and the crew, we're taking this road across Alaska. And we haven't even gotten to the hard part yet. I guess you could say we're hooking up the last frontier to the lower 48. Yeah, looking up here, it's different. See, this road's got to be able to handle an Alaskan freeze. And then, the thaw. But I'll tell you, when it's finished, and it's on the map, we can say, we did that.
It's for guys like T.J. Donahue that we make sure every Budweiser is the best it can be. Made with the choicest ingredients, exclusive beechwood aging, and brewed with the kind of pride T.J. puts into his work. So to T.J. and all you guys out there like him, this Bud's for you.
Big, and I mean big arrivals at your Toyota dealer. He wants to break this month's sales record, so every Toyota's priced to drive away. Come in and trade in now an incredible selection of Toyotas. Cars unsurpassed for mechanical reliability in their class. That could save you money on maintenance. Factory incentives to dealers on selected models could save you money too. But hurry, the hottest ticket prices are at your Toyota dealer now during its Super Summer Sellout.
That's the story as we go to the 4th, and a reminder that on this Friday night, it'll be Tom Seaver Growth Chart Night. The first 15,000 kids 14 and under who attend the game of the Blue Jays, they receive a free life-size poster of Tom Seaver, courtesy of True Value Hardware Stores, to help commemorate Tom's great career in baseball. Hope you make your plans to be with us. That'll be this Friday, and that will be a doubleheader against the Blue Jays. Right here, we go to the 4th. Along with Ken Harrelson, I'm Don Drysdale. Happy that you've joined us tonight. In the 4th, it'll be George Brett to lead it off, and to call it for you, here's the Hawk.
All right, 53. Brett hitting at 354, 16 homers, 72 RBIs. Single his first trip. That one of the old puppy dogs gets you down in a hurry.
Yeah, Tommy just gets that right down around the pins. And Brett wasn't going to leave a spare standing up there.
I want to know the count. Brett, 32 years old, and chops one right side. Easy play for Cruz. He'll run it over to Walker. And that's out number 1. And down in Houston, Bailey is homered for the Astros, a grand slam. In the 3rd inning, his 10th of the year, they now lead the Cardinals 8-zip.
Like the Metropolitans are going to go a game up on the Cardinals.
No score at Milwaukee. Top of the 5th, Twins and the Brewers as Hal McRae steps in. He hit a rocket. One hopper right back at Seaver his first trip. Tommy got it off the heel of the glove. Had to chase it down halfway between pitcher's mound and second base. Did it and threw him out. Two balls, no strikes. McRae, 39 years old. He's starting to get hot. Little man can do it. He starts driving in runs to go along with Brett. Watch out. Cues that slider. And the count, 2 balls and a strike. Bottom of the 7th in Montreal. Padres leading the Expos 1-zip. Johnny just told you the Metropolitans leading the Giants 3-0. Bottom of the 6th at Shea. Put another one on the board for the Astros. They now lead it 9-0. Top of the 4th. At the knees on the corner, and the count evens at 2. 1-3-0 for the Royals. 0-2-0 for the Sox. Dempsey backs up, makes a nice play. Easy peg, 2 gone. That'll bring up the 35-year-old right fielder, Dane Arge. Flared one out into left field. Little duck snort out there, and has scored the only run of this ball game. Arge 2 for 7 against Sox pitching this year. Got in on him with the slider, and the count 0-1. Pirates leading Cincinnati 3-1. Bottom of the 8th at Three Rivers. First of a 3-game set. A big set for the Sox. That's on the inside corner, and it's 0-2. Tomorrow night, it'll be a couple of southpaws. Floyd Bannister for the Sox, and he'll be opposed by Chicago and Charlie Lee Brandt. And in the finale on Thursday, Joel Davis against left-hander Danny Jackson. Got him on a high fastball. So for the first time in the ball game, the Royals are retired in order. Nothing across, and after 3.5, Kansas City leads it 1-0.
Talk about versatility. The Plymouth Voyager really lives up to its reputation as the magic wagon. The kind of magic any baseball team or family team can love. Room for people, room for your gear, room for both. No wonder over 200,000 Voyagers were sold the first year. Of course, it's covered by Chrysler's 5-year, 50,000-mile protection plan. Catch the Voyager at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Blue Island Chrysler Plymouth in Blue Island and River Oaks Chrysler Plymouth in Lansing.
Hey, Kathy, what's cooking?
Well, Hollywood wants to do a movie about my life.
Big deal.
Oh, you didn't see my limousine parked outside.
Sure.
I guess you didn't hear. I won $6 million playing Lotto.
Did you really, Kath?
No, but I
Big
could.
deal. Hey, when was the last time you won $6 million, Mr. Moneybag?
Lotto, it's a big deal.
Oh, hey, fellas. Free champagne and caviar tomorrow.
This is the Atonic difference. It has a spike pattern different from every other golf shoe. Spikes here and here to keep you more stable and help you hit the ball more consistently. Time after time.
Visit Sport Mart's all-new Pro Shop for super values on all Etonic golf shoes and golf wear. For sports, it's Sport Mart.
Well, fans, this coming Sunday, it'll be the White Sox and the Blue Jays, and it's Lee Jeans and Spiegel back-to-school backpack day. The first 15,000 fans 14 and under who attend the game, they'll receive a free White Sox backpack courtesy of Lee Jeans and Spiegel. For tickets, call Ticketmaster 559-1212. Use your charge card or stop by the ballpark.
Bottom of the 4th inning, it'll be Fisk, Kittle, and Walker to face the left-hander, Bud Black. 1-0, Royals on top. Takes a strike in the count, 0-1. Nice play by George Brett, going hard to his left. First time Carlton was at the plate, threw him out. That's inside. 1-1 the count. Played 7 for 23 this year against Kansas City with 3 homers, and he's knocked in 8. Change low and away. 2 balls and a strike. Back out of San Mateo, California, 28 years old. That curveball down and in, and the count evens at 2. Buddy 1-1 this year against the Sox, 3-2 lifetime. In his 25th start of the season. Watch out. Outfield swung well around to the left. Curveball. Brett. Biancalana deep in the hole now. Sets guns high. Not in time. That'll be a base hit for Fisk, and a tying run aboard. Nobody out.
Yeah, the ball just hit in the right spot right here. Brett, a good try. Biancalana was there, but now he can't set himself in time. And then the long throw, no chance to get Carlton.
There's good effort by Biancalana. Meanwhile, good speed and Pudge aboard. Here's Kittle. And he bounced out to Biancalana his first trip. Black ate him up with a fastball in on the fist. Curveball, hard. Brett looking to play by number 5 to White. They don't turn it over, but what a play by George Brett.
Well, that's as good as you're going to see right here. This is just a major league play. That ball hit hard, comes up on Brett, backhand, stays right with it, goes hard over to White, but the long way around, and Kittle able to beat the relay.
Boy, that was close to being a Brooks Robinson type play. Mercy. Here's Walker. Greg caught looking back in the second inning. Good slider from Black. That one misses low and away.
He was struck at the base of the neck by the ground ball knocked his helmet. He was taken to a hospital.
Now the report. The report on Willie Wilson. He was struck at the base of the neck on the throw by Fisk, and they will take him to Christ Hospital for x-rays, and he will spend the night there. Chopper right side. Frank White gets caught in between. Now goes over to first base. Kittle moves into second. They get Walker 2 gone. And Frank White spinning his wheels just a little bit on that play.
He's a little unhappy with himself. He knows that he could have gone back to second base in time to get the lead man, Kittle. He laid back on the ball number 1, and then he saw that he could charge it. Did make a good play after playing it on the short hop. There he comes in. Now makes a good play right there. He looks at second. You see, he had plenty of time to get Kittle if he wants to go that way, but he just couldn't make himself do it.
Timmy Hewlett takes the curveball low. So the Sox giving the Royals a run back in the second. Base hit right here, and the Royals could give it right back. Breaking ball on the inside corner, and the count evens at 1. Hewlett walked his first trip. That's the only walk that Black has issued. He has fanned 5. Outfield swung around to the right, just a shade, bit of a gap between Lonnie Smith and Lynn Jones. That's on the outside corner. Ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 5th at County Stadium, Minnesota leading Milwaukee 1-0. Top of the 8th in Montreal, Padres still holding on to a 1-0 lead. That's about a 56-footer blocked nicely by Wathan. And the count evens at 2. Toronto now leading Cleveland 3-2, bottom of the 7th at Municipal Stadium. Blue Jays trail at one time, 2-0 in that ball game. No score, top of the 8th at Fenway Park. Rangers against the Red Sox. Top of the 9th at Three Rivers. Pirates still leading the Reds of Pete Rose 3-1. Got him on the hook. So Hewlett's gone, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across for the Sox. There was a hit. No errors. A man left after 4. Royals lead it 1-0.
31 days of sports fun and excitement. That's what's coming your way on Sports Vision. In August, it's time to cheer on the White Sox in 18 live games as they fight to stay in the race for the pennant. Plus, catch other top contenders in the American League with continued coverage of Major League Baseball. And don't miss the August showcase of specials, including a tribute to 1985's Hall of Famers and the Mickey Mantle special. Sports Vision stays on top of the sports you follow with a series of exciting regattas from Mission Bay, San Diego to Detroit. Then, from boat racing to horse racing, don't miss the Colonial Cup International Steeplechase only on Sports Vision. And don't forget to stay tuned for the great lineup of weekly shows like Fran Healy's Pennant Chase, Windy City Racing, Inside NASCAR, and a look at the great outdoors. 31 days of sports excitement in August, only on Sports Vision, the best ticket in town.
What's going down in this town? The Chicago Bulls. They're a whole new breed.
Well, fans, on Saturday, August 24th, that's this Saturday, be the White Sox and Blue Jays. Is Sports Vision fireworks night following the 6:05 game. There'll be a spectacular fireworks show, compliments of Sports Vision. Hope you make your plans to be with us that night. 6:05, Saturday night, White Sox and Blue Jays.
Second baseman Frank White takes the ball in the dirt all the way back to the screen, and the count 1-0. White, little flare single in the right field that moved Orge over to third base back in the second inning. And then Orge scored as Balboni hit into that 5-4-3 double play. 1-0, Royals on top. 1-3-0 for Kansas City, 0-3-0 for the Sox. Easy tapper right side. The juice to Walker. Here's the big, strong first baseman out of Brockton, Massachusetts, Steve Balboni. 25 homers, 65 RBIs on the year. Now hitting at an even 250. Curveball, little high, says Voltaggio, and the count 1-0. Balboni, that's a very close stance. There's the strike. Balboni doesn't like it, and the count evens at 1.
Now, one for you, one for me. Now go get him. It's all even. Well, they say that is a routine procedure with Willie Wilson, Hawk, going to the hospital and spending the night. So that certainly hope Willie's okay.
That's high in the right field. Baines is there. Now number 2. Yes, we certainly do hope that Willie is all right. Took quite a shot in case you just joined us. Back in the third inning trying to steal second base. Had it stolen. And the throw by Carlson hit him right in the back of the neck. Here's John Wathan. Takes a strike at the knees on the corner. And it's 0-1. I mean, he just lay there for a while. He was writhing in pain. Slider misses. 1-1 to count. Wathan 4 for 9 against the Sox this year. 35-year-old veteran boy. The Royals with some age in that lineup. Can't get that one. And the count 1-2. Talking about George now 32. McRae 39. Orge 35. White 34. Wathan 35. 1-2 slider right on the outside corner. A beauty by Tom. So he has retired the side in order twice in a row. That's strikeout number 3. And after 4.5, 1-0 Kansas City.
There's a style in your life no one could ever deny. You're on your way to the top, and along the way you've always known just who you are. Where you're going, you've always known it. Where you're going, it's Michelob.
Where you're going, it's exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you're going, it's Michelob.
Some of our competitors are wondering out loud how Empire can offer brand name carpeting from $6.95 installed and deliver in 72 hours. Well, they know how we do it. Empire buys by the truckload. They don't. Empire has its own warehouse. They don't. Empire has its own installing crews. They don't. So that's exactly why we can offer the best buys on the best brands and deliver in 72 hours. They can't, and they know it.
588-2300 Empire. We got what it takes. We got what it takes to make it easy. We've got what it takes to make it good. There's nothing you can't do when you know your true value. We've got what it takes, true value.
The more you have to do, the more you really need True Value hardware stores and home centers.
We've got what it takes, true value.
The broadcast rights to this game have been granted to Sports Vision by the Chicago White Sox solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction or the use of the program without the express written consent of Sports Vision is prohibited.
Sox have of the 5th. Royals on top, 1-0. It'll be Cruz, Guillen, and in the top of the order, Reed Nichols. Left-hander Bud Black giving up just 3 hits, 1 walk, 5 punch-outs. And talking about strikeouts, Dwight Gooden at Shea Stadium has been going at the rate of 2 an inning through 7 against San Francisco. Easy play. Right field, Dane Orange. Oh. He's going up to meet that ball with that glove.
He almost overran it. Dane right there looking up, kind of watching the flags a little bit. Here he gets there in plenty of time now. He's just a little late. He kind of staggers under that.
That's it. It's a little easier when you get the glove up and come down a little with it rather than have it meet it halfway.
Especially when you're meeting it right around the bill of your cap.
Believe me, I can speak from experience. Here's Ozzie again. Ozzie, with 2 strikes, attempted to butt, gets himself a line shot in the left field. Lonnie Smith coming on, makes a catch. Nice play by Smith. He got a good jump. You could see he was going to try it all the way, and he came up with the ice cream cone.
Well, a good play by Lonnie Smith. Good speed, and right there, that big glove and the big webbing. There it is. Has it in there better, and as soon as he hits the ground, it kind of tries to squirt out a little bit, but he stays right with it. Excellent play.
Nice piece of hitting by Ozzie, but he comes up empty. 2 out, and here's the leadoff man, Reed Nichols. Here he just bounced to second and struck out. Change misses low and away, and the count 1-0. Houston just hurting St. Louis. 11-0, 5th inning. The Astrodome. 2 balls, no strikes. Texas leading Boston 3-0. Bottom of the 8th at Fenway Park. That's Huff against Ojeda. Playable into right field. Orange, let's watch this one now. There you go. 1-2 inning for Black. That's the first time he's done that this ball game. After 5, Kansas City leads it 1-0.
It's been called.